Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of the Iron Life Podcast. I am your host, Chris Tutela, and I want to kick this off by thanking everyone who took the time out of their busy day to leave a 5-star review on iTunes or to leave a written review. It really means so much to me, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't left a 5-star review yet, if you haven't had a minute, I want to thank you in advance because I know you know how much it means to me. So I know you're going to head over and leave a 5-star review or a written review if you have an extra second, because it really means so much. It helps us grow the show and helps us get more of our message out there. So thank you so much. And what I want to talk to you about today is how to raise the standard of your life. What I've learned over the years is that most people set the standard for their lives mediocre, right? At a mediocre level. People set that standard too low. And because they set that standard too low and they just go through life going through the motions, they end up at this place of unhappiness, depression, or just unfulfilled, or just lack enthusiasm. They lack excitement, and I get it. I could relate. I've been there before. The standard I held for myself was very low. I told you the story a million times, getting out of bed late, going to bed way too late, 5 o'clock in the morning, no desire, no drive, no passion, right? The standard that I set for myself was very low. The expectations that I had for myself was very low. Now, even though now the standards that I hold for myself are very high and the expectations that I have for myself are very high, I want to continuously raise those standards. I don't want to stay still. I don't want to just stay stagnant. And I know if you're listening to this show, you don't want to stay still either. You want to keep raising the bar and make these changes and adjustments to your life that are going to lead to your happiness, to your fulfillment, to a better body, to more money, to better relationships, everything in between. You want to raise the bar. Why wouldn't you want to raise the bar, right? So today, I want to talk to you about the 10 ways that you can raise the standard of your life. And I want to hop right into this here. So hopefully you have a pen and paper so you could take some notes. But number 1, prioritize health and fitness. You're listening to this show, so odds are health and fitness is already a priority for you. And if you're an avid listener of this show, then you know we're going to talk about the Tutela Pyramid, where we're going to prioritize sleep, stress management, nutrition, training, daily movement / conditioning, and recovery. So we talked a lot about it last episode, about how to improve those areas, the Kaizen approach, getting 1% better, find the low-hanging fruit, and improve. So we're not going to hop too much into that today, but just know that that is number 1. So if you are someone who needs to raise the standard of your health, of your fitness, then go back to last week's episode. I believe that was episode number 70, I want to say. Yeah, episode number 70. Go back and listen to that episode and start moving the needle. Now, number 2. This is a very important one and one that most people don't take seriously enough. Invest in coaching, training, or mentors. Most of you listening to this right now think that you can do it on your own. I once thought that I could do it on my own. That left me broke. That left me fatter than I wanted to be, unhealthier than I wanted to be, and not really having clear direction. Listen, success is never achieved alone. You're going to need a team. You're going to need mentors. You're going to need the right people to help you get to that next level. So investing in coaching, training, mentors, whether it be for your fitness, whether it be for your business or for leadership or for lifestyle or for relationships, it's only going to help you raise the standards of those areas of your life. So don't think that you're just going to go through life and these things are just going to change Maybe they will to some degree as long as you become conscious and aware, but you're never going to get to that true next level, that high level, and be a high performer if you don't invest in yourself and start to take these things seriously. One thing a mentor told me a while back is that when you pay attention. If you're not paying, think about it this way. How many times have you had a $20 gym membership, or how many people, even if you're someone who trains often, but how many people do you see that have these $10, $20 gym memberships but never use them? They're just paying the bills. They're just, contributing to whether it be Planet Fitness or whatever big box gym it is out there that you're paying your monthly dues to, but never using it, right? Because there's no value in it. But if you're paying $200, $300, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month for coaching, you better bet your ass you're going to be paying attention, and you're going to be doing the things that are going to lead you to the result that you want in whatever area that you want. So don't pretend that you could do this alone. Don't pretend that all of a sudden you're going to find some motivation. Figure out a way to invest in yourself to raise that standard. And if you're someone right now who is struggling financially and you can't pay that premium, fine. Find a lower level program that you could invest in. Maybe it's online. Maybe it's a group coaching program or something along those lines where the cost is a little bit lower. And then you figure out what you can do to make it work, because you can make it work. I guarantee you're spending your money on food, unhealthy food, booze, or just other bullshit, $5 cups of coffee at Starbucks. You could save that money and put that towards a coach, a mentor, or some type of a training program. So invest in yourself. Number 3, to raise the standard of your life, be kind, be grateful, and honest with yourself and others. There's too many dickheads out there. We don't need another one. Be nice to people. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice. Be kind. Have empathy. Understand that people have shit going on in their lives too. Everybody that gives you the finger while you're driving doesn't need to get screamed at and shit thrown at their car. Maybe they're just going through some shit. And maybe you need to chill the fuck out. Maybe you made a mistake. That's why I gave you the finger. So be kind. There's no need to be an asshole. Right? Like Patrick Swayze said in Roadhouse. Be nice until it's time to not be nice. Right? But always be nice. Be kind to people until it's time where you don't have to be kind anymore. Be grateful. Most of us look at things in life that we want, what we want to do, what we should be doing, what we could be doing, what we want and should have or could have, instead of, and I'm all about goal setting and having things that we're aiming for. But if you're not grateful for the things that you currently do have, you're gonna have a hard time being happy. So anytime you're falling into a depression, look at the people and the things that you do have in your life that you are grateful for, and show gratitude to those people. Put it in a journal. Maybe shoot them a text message. Do something that is going to express your gratitude for those people, for those things in your life. Make sure you're aware of those things and you're not just going through life paying no mind and attention to the things that you actually do have, the things that actually do matter to you, the things that you're actually grateful for in your life, because there's plenty of things. Hey, listen, you woke up today. You're listening to this podcast today. You might have a lot of shit going on right now that is not ideal. Maybe you're going through a breakup, a divorce. Maybe you got someone in your family who is sick. Maybe you just lost a bunch of money. Maybe your business is going under. Maybe somebody you know got hurt or got injured. Maybe you got injured. There could be a million things going wrong. I'm not telling you to just forget about the shit that's wrong in your life, because I'd be lying to you if I said that, people could just, be grateful all the time and not have any idea that this shit is wrong in your life. Of course you are. That's part of life. There's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. But you do, while you're going through that, it is important to also be grateful for the shit that you do have in your life. Okay? So express gratitude. And finally, be honest with yourself and with others. If you're lying to other people, that's the standard you're setting for yourself, that you're a liar, that you're untruthful. And forget about being honest with others, but what about with yourself? Are you being honest with yourself? Are you working as hard as you tell yourself that you're working? Are you being as kind as you tell yourself you are? Are you saying that you're always right? You're always right? The other person in your relationship, whether in your intimate relationships or your business relationships, are they always wrong? Are you perfect? Are you really being honest with yourself? I want you to think about that, because we have to do a deep dive on ourselves every so often to see if we're really being honest. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, did I really do my best today? Did I really communicate that message as well as I could have? Because it's very easy to point the finger at other people, and it's very easy to hype yourself up. Or on the other side, it's very easy to break yourself down and be the biggest critic and just continuously criticize yourself for things that you didn't do or things that you did do. So you have to be honest and give yourself an honest evaluation. And of course, let that carry over into the world and be honest with other people. Okay? If the answer is yes, you tell them yes. If the answer is no, you tell them no. Explain why, but don't fucking lie to people. Don't be a liar. Don't just completely take what's true and just spew your version of the truth, right? Try to find the real truth in whatever it is that you are talking about. Number 4, raise the bar higher, then raise it again. Good enough is never good enough. So you raise that bar and then you raise it again. This comes down to what this entire episode is about. Having higher standards for yourself, right? Increasing the standard of your life. Okay, so don't be satisfied. If you're someone who goes and trains often, you go to the gym, don't be satisfied with just doing the same bullshit workout that you've been doing for the last 20 years since your high school football days. Don't be satisfied with an okay marriage or an okay relationship where you have okay communication. Raise the bar. Evaluate yourself. Evaluate your fitness, your relationships, your business. Evaluate these things. And then set that expectation higher for yourself. How can you improve? How could you improve your communication skills? How could you improve your relationship? How could you make more money? Right? Think about what you can do to raise those standards. Raise that fucking bar. Reach the mark and then raise it again. That is what is going to keep you excited for this life, to wake up every day, pursuing greatness, climbing that mountain, and then knowing that you're never going to actually get to the peak of that mountain until you take your last breath on this earth. That should be when you finally hit that peak, that last very breath. Keep climbing. Keep driving forward, pushing forward, moving forward. Don't settle for mediocrity. Don't settle for less than your absolute best. Raise that bar and then raise it again. Remember, good enough is never good enough. Keep raising that bar and pursuing greatness. Number 5, an important one. Listen more, talk less. That's coming from somebody who is talking here for an hour on a podcast. But I want you to listen to people more. Truly listen. You know, one thing that I notice, I've learned a lot from my father. And more so, although I love him, I've learned what not to do from my father more than what to do. And one of the things that I've really learned as far as what not to do is when you're having a conversation with people, don't just listen, don't just wait for your turn to talk and let that other person that you're having a conversation with say their piece where you're not listening to a word they're actually saying. You're just waiting and thinking about what you're going to say next. I've been guilty of this myself. Maybe I've learned that behavior from my father in my younger years, and that was something that I would always do. And what I've learned through business and what I've just learned through life over the years, communicating with other people, is that you have to really hear people. You have to listen to their wants. You have to listen to their needs. Otherwise, every conversation that you have, it's just going to be an argument. You're just going to be arguing and trying to prove your point to other people. You have to truly be able to listen, see where they're coming from. Right? If you want to lead people, if you want to lead, and it doesn't matter if you're a business owner or in the workplace, if you just want to lead your family better, you have to be a better listener. So many people just want to talk, prove their point, prove that they're right, and just in every conversation, they're never learning anything. They're not actually hearing this other person's perspective. They're just waiting and waiting until it's their turn to talk. And then they're going to talk over you. And they didn't hear a fucking word you just said, but they're just going to spew out whatever the hell it is that they want to say next. Are you guilty of this? I want to ask you that right now. This now goes back to being honest with yourself, right? A little self-evaluation here. Are you guilty of talking more or just waiting your turn to talk in conversations, or when you are having a debate with somebody? Are you really listening? I challenge you to listen more and to talk less. Number 6, to raise the standard of your life, you must be on an endless pursuit of self-improvement. This comes down to reading books or listening to audiobooks, listening to the right podcast, like the Iron Life podcast, being around the right people, doing everything that we just mentioned on this list, including investing in training and coaching and mentorship. You must continuously focus on the things that are important but not urgent, as Stephen Covey says in his famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, when he talks about the 4 quadrants. Quadrant number 2, I believe, where the work that you're doing is important, but it's not urgent. You're not putting out fires. It's not one of those deadline-driven projects. It's focusing on you, your relationships, your connections, your ability to communicate, your leadership skills, the project that you've always wanted to do, the business you've always wanted to start. You have to prioritize these things into your day so it is a daily habit, a daily ritual to work on your self-improvement. Don't just leave it up to chance. This has to be a constant, daily pursuit of improving yourself on some level, on any level, on every level. Looking at the areas, being honest with yourself and evaluating yourself and seeing what is it that you want out of this life? Where can you get better? And then daily, you work on these things. It could be 15 minutes of working on this thing, but you work on it every single day. That's how you improve on many different levels. Okay, so you have to be on a constant and endless pursuit of self-improvement, of personal development. Okay, so don't neglect it. Work it into your schedule. What gets scheduled gets done. Put it in your schedule. Honor that schedule and work on yourself. And even though it's important but not urgent, I want you to work on this with a sense of urgency. Because time is moving, whether you like it or not. You're getting older. Time is passing you by. Don't let life pass you by until it's too late, until you wake up and you can't work on these things anymore because you're at the end of the road. I don't want that for you. I don't want you having regrets in this life. I know I sure as hell I don't want any more regrets. I have plenty of regrets. But you learn from those regrets. You learn from the mistakes that you've made. Your past doesn't define who you are. Just because you made some mistakes, just because you made some choices that you're not proud of, it doesn't mean that you can't change. But it takes work. It takes effort. It takes being self-aware. So I challenge you to work on yourself. Number 7. This is one of my favorite ones. Focus more on people and less on money. Now, this could go for everyone, but especially you business owners out there. And I know it might be easier said than done when you initially hear that. Like, well, especially if you're struggling, because I've been there where my business was broken and I had barely any clients. I've been there before, and you're just struggling to pay the bills. But here's the thing. When you shift your focus from the money that you need and you focus more on the people, then oftentimes the money will come as a byproduct. Because businesses are people-driven. I'm talking about the people that are on your team. I'm talking about your clients or customers, the people that you're serving, the people that you network with, other business owners. Focus more on people and developing and building those relationships. Don't always go to people with your hand out. Think about how you can serve them. What can you give back to them? How could you help them? Are you really giving your clients your best effort? If you're a trainer or a coach, are you doing everything that you can to help your clients get to their goals? Outside of your training sessions, are you letting them know that you care? Are you sending them thank you cards or gifts or hell, a friggin' text message and letting them know that you appreciate them and that you're grateful for them? Are you going above and beyond to develop the relationships? And if you are managing a team of people, are you letting your team know that you're grateful for them? Are you communicating clearly and effectively with your team? Are you building bonds and relationships by having nights out and events? Are you doing what is required to enhance camaraderie, whether it be at your gym or in your workplace or in your family? But focus more on the people, and the money will eventually come. I'm not saying not to learn how to market and how to sell, because you do absolutely need those things. But while you're learning how better marketing tactics and better sales tactics, work on the people. Focus on the people. Serve your people. And I guarantee you, they're going to be more likely to refer, more likely to send more of their friends and their family members your way to your product or to your service, and then more money will come. But focus more on the people. And I guarantee you, your business or your work, your career will change. Number 8, to raise the standard of your life, you must volunteer, donate, or give back in some way. You know, one of the things that I've learned is that helping other people is going to be one of the biggest things that fill you up, right? One of the things that really give you joy and fulfillment is going to be helping other people on their path. Now, you might help people for a living if you're a trainer or if you're a coach or if you're not. But either way, I want you to figure out how can you give back to your community? How can you give back and serve people who need you? Is there a charitable organization that you could raise money for? Could you volunteer as a big brother or a big sister? Could you volunteer at a homeless shelter, soup kitchen? Can you spend your time giving back to serve other people? Because people need you in some way, shape, or form. There's people out there that need you. And are you giving back enough? This goes back to focusing on people. Are you putting good back out into the world? Are you helping others, raising money for a cause that you believe in? Because if you're not, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle with your happiness. You're going to struggle with being fulfilled. So volunteer. Give back in some way to some type of organization or charity that means something to you. Number 9, be the person you needed when you were younger. You ever think back and reflect on your life and think about the coach, the teacher, the mentor, the uncle, or somebody in your life that really helped you? Maybe you had that one person. Maybe it was your own parents. But maybe you didn't have that person. Either way, at this point of your life, you know that having somebody could have helped you. Or the person that did help you, really made an impact on your life. Okay, and there's people out there right now that need that person. They need that person to move forward. They need that person to give them some guidance, to give them some direction. But also think about it from their perspective. They're looking up to that person. You were looking up to that person at one point. What does that person represent? Are you living in a way that is going to be reflective of the people that you admire? Because that is how you are going to set the bar for yourself. If you are not being the person that you needed when you were younger, if you're not living up to that standard, then you're doing yourself a huge disservice. So give back by being the person that you needed at one point of your life. Hell, maybe it's the person that you need right now. Maybe that person is yourself. Maybe it's time for you to level up. Maybe it's time for you to man the fuck up, step the fuck up, and start living in a life that you respect. Living the life that is meaningful, that could truly help other people. But that's up to you. That's up to you on if you're going to step up or not. Or if you're just going to keep coasting through life and living like you're going to live forever with no sense of urgency, with no joy, with no action. This is your time where you could really start making a difference. This is your time where you could start really making an impact in the lives of other people who fucking need you. So step up. Start putting in the work. I'm going to do the same. Number 10, evaluate, reevaluate, and set new standards. So based off of everything that I just talked about for the last 30 or 40 minutes, we need to get those things in check. We need to make a game plan, a strategy, so we can apply these things to our life, to our days, to our busy schedules, because we all have busy schedules, we all have family, we all have friends, we all have work, we all have shit going on in our lives. So you need a strategy. You need a blueprint, a game plan to put these things in place. Evaluate yourself. Evaluate who you are. Evaluate how you're spending your time. Then you go execute. You execute the plan. You put it into work. You put it into action. You get the wheels turning. You start moving imperfectly, because there's never going to be a perfect time to take action. You have to decide to start, and you start right now, and you keep moving forward. And it might look messy, and you might take your bumps and bruises because you made some mistakes, or you could have put things differently on your schedule, and you learn, and you adapt. And then once you nail it, you reevaluate yourself. Where are you? Are you really living up to these standards? Write down who it is you want to be, how you want to live your life. Are you living in that way? If not, okay, reevaluate what needs to change. Okay, but then we set new standards. To go back to number 4, we're raising the bar again. Okay, we're raising it a little bit higher for yourself. We're setting new standards constantly. This is an evolution. So as you evolve, you're going to need to set new standards for yourself. Because, like I said earlier, good enough is never good enough. So set new standards for yourself and keep driving forward. Keep pushing forward and raising that bar. Guys, I hope that these 10 steps to raising the standard of your life has helped you, and I hope that some of these really resonated with you. The most important thing, and one of the most important things that I want you to take away from today's episode, is that without action, everything that you just heard is meaningless. You have to take action on it. And as long as you do, as long as you take action, as long as you execute, as long as you move forward, you're going to become that person. You're going to raise those standards of your life, of your fitness, of your health, of your mindset, your business, your work, your relationships, your finances. Every area will improve, but only if you take action. So I challenge you, I encourage you, I ask you, take action, move forward, and don't take any of this lightly, because this life is all that you got. So why not live this life to the best of your ability at the highest of standards? And if you're ready to raise the bar, if you're ready to raise the standards and set new standards of your life, then I want you to head over to leansobproject.com and apply for 6 weeks of coaching with me. Over the 6 weeks in the Lean SOB Project, I'm going to coach you on how to lose body fat through intelligent, practical, nutritional protocols. The Lean SOB Project is designed to get you lean and designed to create better structure and habits into your life so you could change, not only melt fat off of your frame and lose body fat, get leaner, build lean muscle, get more confident, get stronger, but it's also going to give you the knowledge, the tools, and the information that you're going to need to set new standards for yourself as a man. So if you are ready to raise the bar, to set new standards, go over to leansobproject.com and fill out an application to work with me. If you meet the requirements, I will be in touch with you, and we will set up a strategy call to discuss the program. Again, that's leansobproject.com. I want to thank you so much for listening, and I will catch you next week on another episode of the Iron Life Podcast. Until then, keep living the Iron Way. Peace.